that this main dealer provided, the Pontoon Buyer's Guide, 2017 Consumer's Guide to Buying the Right Pontoon or Tri-Toon at the Best Price. And you can see Minnesota edition up there, up on the image. 2017 Consumer's Guide, How to Buy the Right Boat at the Right Price. The Best Negotiation Question that'll save you thousands, even if you hate negotiating. 3 dumb mistakes smart boat buyers make and how to avoid them. Inside Secrets of Marine Financing and Insurance reveals, plus much, much more. Yes, send me my free consumer guide now. Now, what we've done by taking them to this landing page, or some people would call it an opt-in page or squeeze page, it gives them one choice and one choice only. Did we make a good enough case that you need this consumer's guide before you buy your boat? And if so, click yes and send me the free guide now. If no, then you can leave. So your choices are get the guide or go back and do what you are doing. And again, this is one more step that allows the consumer to self-select themselves. If they come here and they say, that's not for me, well, then that probably is not a prospect that's on the educational spectrum of a boat buyer. So they click yes, very simply pops up a form for them to fill out. Yes, send me the free 2017 consumer guide and your best email address below for instant access to save thousands on your next new or used boat purchase. Just email and first name, send me their free report. The reason that you want to collect as little information as possible, just first name and email address, is that does a couple of things. One, it gives you the email address so that you can communicate with them. And because you're sending them the free guide, the hope is that you're going to get their best email address, the email address that they have going to their phone, because this is information that they really want right now. And you get their first name so that you can actually communicate with them on a personal level. So when you email them, you can email them a message that says Matt, and it's more personal. It has that more personal touch. Then you're asking them to send their free report. So again, one choice and one choice only. Either send me the report or leave and go about your business. So once that button is clicked, takes you to a thank you page. 2017 Consumer Guide, How to Buy the Right Boat at the Best Price. You can share it with social media, or you can like it on social media as well. Just a quick thank you page, and that drives them to the email where they're going to get the link that has the information attached. Now, the interesting thing about this is it could be a video, which is very easy to do. That's what we tested. And instead of this thank you page just going to social media, it actually took them directly to the video as well as the social media like buttons. And the video was very simple, just good, solid information on how to buy the right boat at the right price. And we fulfilled on the promises of good negotiation questions to ask, some finance and some insurance pieces, just some good insight that we had. From there, here's why this is so powerful. And I'm going to share more of the details on the next video. So look for the link in your email address and kind of think about what you've just experienced by requesting to see this process. It's a very similar experience what I just showed you for a pontoon buyer. And it can be done for any segment of the market. It could be a center console buyer. It could be aluminum fish boat buyer. It could be an outboard, a repower. It could be a sport fish. It could be a yacht. It could be a deck boat or a sport boat, a wake boat, a tow boat, whatever you want to specifically target based on your products. You can create that consumer guide and take them through a very similar process. Now, the great thing about this is once you have it figured out, it's like a vending machine, right? You use it year after year. Maybe you update the content that's behind it, but there's always new people coming on that educational spectrum of a boat buyer. And it really allows you to have that vending machine approach where I know if I invest $10,000, $50,000, $100,000 every year, I know that this funnel is what internet marketers call it, is going to deliver a certain number of leads at a relatively consistent price, depending on what other people are doing and how locked in you get you get the front end of all this. But it's a very interesting way, a very different way to approach the marketing piece. So I want to thank you for watching this. Again, in the next video, I'm going to show you some really cool things that you can do because of what's just happened, because you took somebody through this process. And you'll notice that there was no branding. You'll notice that we didn't talk about the dealer name. We didn't talk about the manufacturer. We just talked about what's valuable to the prospect, what's valuable to that consumer on the educational spectrum. And we'll talk about how you take it to the next step and then start introducing your brand, introducing your business, introducing your manufacturer, and approaching them. So thank you very much for checking this out. We'll see you on that next one, where you can really get into some of the, this is kind of some of the cool ninja stuff that we're going to talk about. So I appreciate it, and we will talk to you. Review what we talked about so you know where we're at right now. So we had the initial ad, just a display ad on Facebook is how the test ran. It could come from anywhere, could come from AdWords, could come from a banner ad, could come from a print ad that drives them to a website similar to this, or a point of sale piece in your boat show or in your showroom, a sign on the side of the road that directs them to a page like this, a squeeze page. From here, they have the one of two options: either request a consumer's guide or leave. If they request a consumer's guide, a pop-up comes up, asks for their name and email address. If they click that, then it takes them to a thank you page, which can either be the video of the buyer's guide, or it can be a a PDF file that's emailed to them if you want to write a book or a consumer's guide. And I've done both that have been successful. It's not so much about how the content is delivered. It's about offering something that is of high value to your right prospects. So what's cool about this approach is, one, it doesn't matter what your manufacturer is, whether you are the highest rated manufacturer with the best brand recognition, or you're a brand new person into the game and you're just making your first pontoon, you still have an equal chance of generating the lead, which is the name and email address of somebody that is interested in buying a pontoon. There's really no other reason other than just plain curiosity, which you may get some of those as well. But for them to go through this step, they're most likely on the educational spectrum of a boat buyer and a good prospect for you. The really nice thing about the digital and the print and leading them to this page is you don't need to worry about search engine optimization and stuff like that. What you're doing is you're just targeting the most likely prospects, the usual suspects that you would want to bring into your dealership. And that targeting can happen within Facebook. It can happen within keywords in Google. Certainly if you're doing local advertising in print, in boat shows, those are all local people. And the message of the consumer's guide, how to buy the right consumer's guide to buying the right pontoon or tri-toon at the best price, is going to pull in the right people for your consumers. Now, you can change it if you're more of a luxury brand, buying the luxury pontoon or tri-toon at the best price. So there's ways that you can change the title of the consumer's guide that's going to bring in the right people. Again, the right bait allows you to catch the right fish. And this is just bait if you think of it that way. But here's the really cool thing, is the tracking that's allowed nowadays on your website, on any website, and this landing page is no different. It allows you to drop what they call a pixel or a cookie or whatever you want to call it. The technology changes, but the idea is to drop something on that machine that says, hey, this person, this machine, this logged in user on Google or on Facebook just looked at this page. And once they look at that page, you have the opportunity to kind of mark that person as somebody that is a high probability target. So even if they don't request that consumer's guide, you still have the ability on Facebook to follow them around with these ads. If you can see, this one right here is list building a priority for you, lead pages. It's one of the technologies that I've used to help create this process. And it's a tool that allows you to build those squeeze pages, those opt-in pages very easy. You can do the same thing. This is I'm on Boating Magazine, and you can see there's this ad for Clark's. There's this ad for Big Shot. There's this Evinrude ad. I'm not sure whether these are retargeting or remarketing ads, but once you have somebody that's come to your website and you have the right technology in place, whether it's the Facebook Pixel or the tracking codes from Google or whatever the code is, you're able to track that person. So as they bounce around the internet, you have the ability to place an ad. Now, here's what's very interesting is once you know that they've been on this consumer's guide for pontoon and tri-toon buyers, what kind of ads should you show them? Yeah, very, very simple. You should show them ads for pontoons, but not just any ads for pontoons. You want to think about if somebody looked at that consumer guide and either they did or they did not request it, what should we show them? Well, if they didn't request it, what I would probably do is continue to show that consumer's guide until they got that interest level and they made the decision that, yes, this is what they wanted to check it out. You could also potentially invite them to a pontoon boat show that you're holding in your dealership. And that could be something that you just set up on a monthly basis. You could set them up and you could offer them a VIP pre-owned pontoon buyers watch list. Hey, sign up here and you can get updated on the latest and greatest used pontoon inventory that comes in. And the idea is what you're doing is you're just sort of following them around and keeping the thought of buying a pontoon in their mind and offering them a various different options that may get them to take another step down that educational spectrum of a boat buyer. Now, what happens when they get to that thank you page or where you actually are delivering, if that's the video, which is the way we had it set up in the test? Once they get here, if they watch your consumer's guide, at the end of the consumer's guide, you can make an offer for them to take a next step, attend a boat show, join a VIP watch list, offer them a more detailed report on finance or insurance and get them further down the line that way. And now when you're following them around with these remarketing and retargeting ads, now you can make that message even more relevant to them. Hey, they've actually watched the guide now. That shows that they've kind of self-selected themselves even more. And now I can be a little bit more aggressive in what type of ads I show. Maybe I want to show them ads for inventory that's available to sell. Maybe I want to sell them on our dealership and make an ad that's more dealer focused. Or maybe I want to focus more on the manufacturer level of why buy XYZ manufacturer. And you can do all of that in the remarketing. One thing that's really cool about driving them through this process is that remarketing is much less expensive. So if you don't have one of those major brands that are out there and maybe you're getting beaten by one of the big market share leaders in your area, this is a great way to overcome that. And as you're following them around, you probably have seen these ads. As a matter of fact, if you've been online, I know that you have. You can start building that reputation. You can start building a case for why should you do business with us as a dealer? Why should you do business and look at this manufacturer? And you can really come up with some interesting and innovative ways to remarket at a fraction of the cost that you're spending on just the brand building, and actually make a very strategic offer to them. And when I say offer, it's really just showing them an ad that's relevant, that they'll want more information, that leads them down the educational spectrum of a boat buyer. When I spoke at MDCE a couple of years ago, I did a session on service, and we talked about being a chess master, thinking 2, 3, 4 steps ahead of, hey, if the customer does this, what does that likely mean, and what could I offer them that's they're going to likely accept? And so what you do is you take that opportunity to really deliver them a message that's just laser targeted to what they're looking for, where they're at, and you do it in a very smart, effective, efficient way that that really reduces your investment on just mass advertising, on just a shotgun approach, and you really take that rifle approach. The other cool thing, we'll talk about it next time in the next video, is what else do you have? Not only can you follow them around the web with the additional ads, but now you also, if they've requested that guide, you have their email address. Once you have that email address, that opens up a communication path directly to their inbox. And if you really think ahead, you can come up with a great system. So think about what we've just done. We've created a number that is totally consumer focused. What are they looking for? Well, it's the same reason they shop boat shows. It's the same reason they research online, is they're looking for information to make sure that they make a smart decision. Then we can follow them around and we can make offers through the remarketing and retargeting, which, if you don't know what I'm speaking of, feel free to take advantage of an offer that I'm going to make you, and let's get on the phone together and I can explain a little bit more. Follow around with these banner ads that follow people everywhere, and the other retargeting ads that you have the ability to do. And then that email address, you can make a specific messaging to them that is in a very automated fashion. Now, again, as you dial this in, that vending machine marketing approach is that you create this once, and then every year, instead of starting from scratch and saying, well, I don't know how that print ad worked. I'm not sure how that radio spot worked. I'm not sure how our banner ads really did, because it was all branding focused, and yeah, we got some clicks, but there was no direct result. I can't tell that Matt Selhorst is the one that bought a boat because of this, but now you can do that because you've generated that lead, and you can trace it back to this consumer guide offer very easily. And now you have the opportunity, year over year, you're building that vending machine that you put in $1 of ad spend and it spits out $5 in boat sales. The next year, maybe $1 of ad spend equals $7 of boat sales. Maybe the next year it's $1 of ad spend equals $10 in boat sales, because you continue to improve the process. And the way the technology is going, we're just getting better and better at the tracking. And if you can get better and better at the messaging within that tracking, let the tracking guide your messaging and test and improve, man, you've got yourself a vending machine that, when I invest my $100,000 of marketing, I know that's going to generate, $500,000, $5 million